How's it going, guys? It's Cole from See Through Panel showing off my October and November comics and manga haul. As always, I'm not going to be spoiling anything, just showing you the books. Usually I haven't even read them, telling you why I bought them. 90% of the time it's because of the art. Let's be honest, I buy most of the books because of the art. Hope everyone had a happy holiday or just a happy Thursday. This is coming out a day late if you're seeing it on the day it comes out, but hopefully everyone had a great day. As I've said before, my shipments come in a really weird order in a really weird time now, so the haul videos are all out of whack, but we do what we have to. First book, the one I'm most excited for, is The Return of Captain Nemo, the Obscure Cities series by Shui-Ten and Peters. Oversized hardcover, which barely fits into frame and is going to hit my camera, and is published by Alaxis Press. I don't know anything about this. I know it's kind of like a storybook where it's not a fully realized like graphic novel or anything, but it is still sequential art, and still by the duo that makes the Obscure Cities series, so I love the tone and the art style. This is all black and white. I'll keep it on this side where the majority of the art is. So I don't know anything about this. I know Captain Nemo. I don't know how it relates to the Obscure Cities in any way. It feels like maybe just a continuation or an adaptation of the original story. I'm not sure, but nice and close. The pages are gigantic, so you can really see every single line, and it is gorgeous every single time. Skip through to the middle. Look at that. If you can hear my dog sighing loudly next to me, I changed my location of where I record, so that's why there's like oddly placed shadows and stuff. I will get that fixed. This is kind of a temporary setup. I had to relocate, so I apologize. I guess not in advance at this point for the lighting. Here's my camera, you can see it right there. But that is the book I'm most excited for this month, or I guess these 2 months. Let's do Eric Powell's The Goon, Bunch of Old Crap Omnibus, Volume 1, published by Dark Horse. Obviously written and drawn by Eric Powell. Old-fashioned pulp comedy. Never really read The Goon, but I always considered it to be kind of like a comedic, more carefree version of Hellboy, in the sense, not at all in tone, in the sense that it's just kind of a character that goes across time and space. It doesn't matter where you put him, but you put him in various places and times, and he gets into shenanigans there. And it continues in a way that I think is, from what I can tell, there is probably character growth and development, but it's mostly just the Goon in a series of crazy situations. That's what I know. I know it's supposed to be a comedy, which I'm excited for because I rarely see comedies, and that's a completely different style by Powell. Rarely see comedies in comics, so I'm excited for that. I do love his art. The Ed Gein book really made me want to read his stuff. This is much earlier and obviously of a very different art style, but I am curious to see his progress as a creator, because there seems to be quite a bit of it. But nice trade paperback. Nothing too fancy. Then let's do more Dark Horse. Den, Volume 4, hardcover. Dreams and Alarums? I don't know that word. I have not been telling you the retail price. Obviously written and drawn by Richard Corbin and retailing for $39.99 US. The Goon Omnibus was $35, and The Return of Captain Nemo is not written on the back. I couldn't tell you what this one costs. I'm going to guess it was like $40, but I'm probably wrong. Anyway, Den. I haven't started yet. I want to get all of it, because I know I'm getting close to getting all of it. I don't think this is the last one. Maybe it is. But classic, like, pulp, psychedelic, like, partial erotic. I don't think it is, but Richard Corbin just really loves to draw that sort of stuff. Action. Just crazy stuff. Corbin is an artist that I know is revered in the comics world. I'm not super familiar with his work. I would love to be, and I want to read this all at once, so I'm excited to finally get into it, but it does seem like a very odd story. And his style is awesome, and his art seems to be fantastic, but it's taking me a moment to get used to the way he draws people. from what I can see. Super exaggerated body types. But it does look really awesome to me, and I know I'm going to appreciate the art a lot more as I'm reading it. But Corbett seems to have two styles, and Den starts off in that more fully rendered style that he did, the more painterly-ish style that he used to have, and then he kind of gets into this scratchier, inkier style that he does more frequently, or did more frequently, pardon me. We Called Them Giants hardcover, written by Kieran Gillen, art by Stephanie Hans, published by Image. Everything feels small in comparison to that Captain Nemo book. $20 US. Nice hardcover. They sent it with a, I don't remember, book plate, I think they call it, signed book plate. I always put these on wrong. It's not centered. It's kind of like angled that way. But, I mean, what am I going to do? It's just a little... I'm not going to notice it most of the time. It's cool that it's there, and I like that they sent it to me. It's not, you know, it's not that important to me. But, I don't know what this is. Let's read the back. Lori wakes to find the streets empty. Everyone is gone, or at least nearly everyone. She's thrown into a world where she has to scrape by in ruins of civilization, nearly starving, hiding from gangs. It's a story about communication across a chasm at the end of the world. I don't know what that means. None of that really sold me on the book. But I love Han's artwork. Kieran Gillen's a phenomenal writer. I'm super, super excited to read this. I need to cover Die on the channel sometime. I did finally catch up with that. I read it when it was coming out, but I didn't finish it, and now that I have, I need to cover it. But, I mean, it just seems like sci-fi, fantasy-ish stuff, but in a kind of modern world with modern people. I'm not sure if that's right. I have no idea what it's about, but the art looks great. I just bought this because of the creators. You can easily tell that. Let's do Creepshow, Book 1. Look at that. Chris Burnham cover. Published by Image. Tales of Suspense and Horror. Retailing for $40 US, it looks like. So we've got Paul Dini, Chris Burnham, Garth Ennis, Becky Cloonan, Erica Henderson, Michael Walsh, Saladin Ahmed, Zoe Thorogood, and many more. This is the Image incarnation of Creepshow. This is the modern incarnation. This is, here is a hell of a credits page. So you can kind of see there. R.D.M. Toplin, I actually really like his art. Morissette, Nick Dragata. How did they not put Nick Dragata on the... Goran Sudzuka. Dan Waters is great. We said Michael Walsh. I mean, this is stacked. Jorge Corona, Kyle Starks, Danny. Yeah, there's a lot in here. There's David Lapham, John McCree, I think I said. Yeah, so really excited to read this. It's just horror one-shots or short stories. I believe it's short stories that, like, multiple of them. It's almost like an anthology, but no, it's a straight-up anthology. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's a straight-up anthology with a narrator that follows through. It's classic horror anthology, but modernized, full color, and with a very kind of over-the-top bent, parody-ish bent to it from what I can tell. It's very wacky horror. It's not going to, like, keep you up at night. It's old school, which I really like. So this is going to be good for when I'm reading, like, eerie and creepy and I want a kind of similar thing, but... You know how it is. Sometimes those books are a little bit antiquated and they take, 10 years to read the first paperback, which is what happened to me, and I stopped. I really loved the art. It's just the writing. People might not like that. That's the case, though. You got to admit. They're wordy. This won't be that. This will be a modern take, and I'm excited for that because I love the vibe of horror anthologies, the classic horror anthologies, the tone. The way they like transport you to this classic world, but sometimes just trying to read a whole paperback of them is not easy. I, Dragon by Juan Jimenez. This is book 2 of 3. I missed book 1, and I didn't know what this was, but from what I've read, this is Jimenez's last published work before his death, published by Alien Books in these tiny little paperbacks, but they are oversized. And so I got book 2, and I'm going to hunt down book 1, and I believe I pre-ordered book 3, because I got in here late. But, I mean, it's Juan Jimenez on a fantasy setting. I could not get it. I wish it was a big hardcover. Instead, it's going to be 3 little, not little, they're oversized, but they're so skinny, paperbacks. It is what it is. You do what you got to do to get Jimenez art. So I don't know what's happening in this. I know it's a fantasy story called I, Dragon with a giant dragon on the front. So if you really needed a reason to buy it, I mean, it's all right there. Then you flip to the inside and the art gets even better. So, God, I'm so sorry about that shadow of my camera on the screen. That sucks. The new setup will get better next week, I hope. Blacksad, They All Fall Down, Part 2, written by Juan Diaz-Canales and art by Juanjo Guarnido, published by Dark Horse. I'm sorry about the way I pronounce those names. Retailing for $20 US, just a little skinny, oversized hardcover. This is part 2 of a story that I'm not going to flip through it much because I've covered Blacksad on the channel. And this is going to spoil the first volume for me, which I've been waiting to read till this got here. If you like this art style, A, just read Blacksad. B, if you need more of an argument, something to propel you to read it, I've got a video on Blacksad that where I talk about how awesome it is and why you should read it and why it's the best thing ever. I don't think I say it's the best thing ever, but it's fantastic noir with anthropomorphized animals and a lot of intrigue and wonderful, wonderful art and awesome characters. And just, yeah, it is what it is. It is what you see here, which is just, classic noir with animals and the most gorgeous art you've ever seen. Let's do Makoto Yukimura's Vinland Saga Deluxe Edition, Volume 5 by Kodansha. This is the faux leather deluxe hardcovers. They change the script up every so often on the top and the bottom here, which is kind of a cool treatment when they're all on the shelf. I don't want to get too deep into this because I haven't started it yet. I'm waiting for them to stack up. But it is a Viking story. Most of you watching this know more about it than I do, I imagine, so I'm not going to say anything. I just know it's one of the great seinen that's actually going to finish, so Berserk, this, and Vagabond. But only one of those 3 things is finishing anytime soon. And I want to read that one. I want to read the one that actually has an ending. So I started collecting these. Did I say what this cost? This is $55 US. I'll get into a deep dive on that series eventually, but that is a commitment that I am not yet ready to make. And we've got Hell, Ink, and Water, The Art of Mike Mignola, hardcover. It says it's from the Philippe Le Bon Gallery at September 20th, 2024 to October 26th, 2024. IDW published it, $40. This is a kind of like a collector's item or an art admirer's art item. If you're a big fan of Mignola, because realistically, it's a big, oversized book. It's got this many pages. I mean, we called them Giants as a small little graphic novel, and it has a bunch of words in it. This is an art book that's a little bit thinner than that, and it's $40. So, I mean, if you love Mike Mignola, buy it. $40 for this, though, is kind of crazy. But it is recent watercolor art, also with some older black and white illustrations by Mignola. I think his watercolor stuff is really cool. I haven't really seen it much. I think it's something new he started doing recently, or maybe he's returning to it, because I had never seen him do it before. It's still very much Mignola's pencil look, but with just a ton of texture. And I think it works really well for his style because it's so moody. And all these very apparent brushstrokes and marks kind of add a lot of depth to what is a otherwise very flat style. But it looks gorgeous. There's a Hellboy piece. Sorry, it doesn't fit. God, I'm just going to keep apologizing about that shadow. But, yeah, and then we get to some black and white stuff towards the back. More of his classic style. Some old covers he did for various properties. A lot of Hellboy, obviously. There's a Rocketeer in there. There's some Elric cover in there. Yeah. So, pretty much just a Mike Mignola fans book. But I really like it. I'll save that one for last, actually. It's a really good one. The Fable Omnibus Volume 4, like everything I always talk about. Oh, I almost skipped ahead. Kodansha. $23, written and drawn by Katsuhisa Minami. I'm waiting for it to stack up because I just cannot do manga in little chunks. Dawn to Dawn is the only one, and I still find myself letting it kind of like build up because it reads so fast. There's no point in reading like 200 pages of something in an hour and then sitting there and being sad that it's not there. So letting it sink in. I've covered this one before in other hauls. It's a man that's trying to... he's laying low after... I think he's a hitman who's laying low after doing a job, and he's trying to live as a normal person for a certain amount of time to like let everything settle down, and he can't help but get back to his old ways and get caught up in his old life. I just think it looks funny. I know it's got a nice slice of life comedy element to it, so I'm really excited for that. But mostly I just thought it was super original and unique and different than most of the manga I see. Last thing, I believe, is H.P. Lovecraft's Call of Cthulhu adaptation by Go Tanabe, published by Dark Horse in the tiny little paperback. I'm not upset. $20 US. And this thing I've been waiting for a very long time because I love Go Tanabe's Lovecraft adaptations. And I'm just super excited for it. So you'll be seeing a video on this pretty damn soon, I would guess. This already looks crazy. Let's pull this up to the camera. Yeah. So the majority of the book is done in a more conventional manga style, but definitely still a lot different than you're used to seeing Go Tanabe. Ah, God. I mean, it's... From what I can tell from his other works, it's going to be a near one-to-one adaptation of H.P. Lovecraft's work. And Call of Cthulhu isn't even in my top 10 Lovecraft works, I would say. Maybe top 10, but definitely not top 5. But I still can wait for this because it's just another Go Tanabe adaptation. It's just putting art to a story that is, let's be honest, really difficult to picture at times. And, God, yeah, I'm really excited for it. I think generally I have more love for Lovecraft stories when I read them in this way. Just because my imagination, maybe one of the reasons I like comics so much is my imagination's kind of crap. So sometimes visualizing stuff like this, where he's going to go on for 3 paragraphs about the like different appendages the bodies of the alien creatures have, I just don't imagine anything. And so, like giant penguins I can do. That one I got. But a lot of this stuff, and like the Cyclopean architecture, what does that mean? It's big, but Go Tanabe will show me what it means, and I kind of need that in a lot of these stories. Wow, that's a great page. But let's put them all out here. Oh, that's a big stack. Can't even see what's in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll do 5. Oh, the big Vinland Saga. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, 11 because of iDragon, if you're going to count that. I mean, it's a skinny little guy, but it still counts. There's just a lot in here. This was a big box. It took me a long time to go through it and catalog everything. The next video is going to be on the War World Saga from Philip Kennedy Johnson at DC, the Superman book. After that, I want to catch up on Dawn to Dawn and finish Hell's Paradise, but we'll see where my shelves take me, because sometimes I just get distracted. But oh, I got a weird amount of comments talking about how my nails are painted. Yeah, they are. And why aren't yours painted is my question, because it's cool. I like it. That's all there is to say. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.